Okay, guys, tonight we're going to talk about a website that I came across, Coin Diligence, and it's got some excellent quotes here by Satoshi Nakamoto, the original creator of Bitcoin. And if you don't understand some of what Bitcoin is about, I think this website does a good job explaining a lot of the stuff, because Satoshi Nakamoto is quoted on here, and they put it together all on the website. Again, that website is coindiligence.com to help some of you maybe that are just learning about Bitcoin and getting started in this. I think this puts a lot of it into perspective. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through and go through this. The message in the Genesis block, this is right after the last financial crisis hit in 2008, 2009. Bitcoin was created or released on January 3rd, 2009, and this quote kind of sums it up. The Times, 03, January 9, 2009. Chancellor on the brink of a second bailout for banks. And the quote underneath here says, Satoshi Nakamoto used the Genesis block, the first block in the blockchain of Bitcoin, to log a powerful message which would remain there for the rest of Bitcoin's existence. Bitcoin was created right after the devastating 2008 economic collapse, which was caused by central banks. And the Genesis block, Satoshi Nakamoto made it very clear about what Bitcoin was. No time. If you don't believe it or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you. Sorry. I kind of agree with that. That's kind of what I run into as well. They are coming. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest, and the swarm is heading towards us. Lost coins. Lost coins only makes everyone else's coins worth slightly more. Think of it as a donation to everyone. And the summary underneath this one says it's estimated there are over 4 million Bitcoins that have been lost forever. This makes Bitcoin even scarcer and all the remaining coins more valuable. Satoshi understood that very early on that the shared insight of this sarcastic message was on Bitcoin talk. If you don't understand what's going on here with fiat currencies or paper money, you might want to head over to my website, easycryptocurrency.com, sign up for my free newsletter, and I will give you all the videos to help you put this whole paper money thing into perspective and why paper money is not near as valuable as you might think it is. And basically today, since its creation back in 1913, your paper dollars are worth about 1 cent of what they were originally created and were worth. So that's how much the value of the paper dollar has been eroded away from you. So if you're interested in learning more about how your paper money actually works and why it's not really all that valuable and why Bitcoin is the complete opposite of that, head over to my website, easycryptocurrency.com, click on the link to sign up for more free information, and I will give you all those videos so that you can learn a lot more about how paper money came to be and how it was founded on sound principles, and then through the manipulation of certain individuals, they created the Federal Reserve and what they did with it in order to take away your buying power and all your purchasing power. Moving on here, all or nothing. In a few decades, when the rewards get too small, the transaction fees will become the main compensation for the quote-unquote mining nodes. I'm sure that in 20 years there will be either very large transaction volume or no volume. So that kind of puts it all in perspective. Decentralization wins. A lot of people automatically dismiss e-currency as a lost cause because of all the companies that have failed since the 1990s. I hope it is obvious it was only the central controlled natures of those companies that doomed them. I think this is the first time we are trying a decentralized, non-trust-based system. And that's where I think the beauty of Bitcoin actually shines, because it's truly a decentralized proof-of-work system. Distributing Bitcoins. As computers get faster and the total computing power applied to creating Bitcoins increases, the difficulty increases proportionally to keep the total new production constant. Thus, it is known in advance how many new Bitcoins will be created every year into the future. Coins that have been initially distributed somehow at a constant rate seems like the best formula. So Satoshi Nakamoto really got it. He understood this whole concept of why a limited amount of money or cryptocurrency would be very, very powerful. Number 8, bloody hard. Sorry to be a wet blanket, but the description for this thing is just general audience is bloody hard. There's nothing really to relate it to. Don't trust third parties. An e-currency based on cryptographic proof without the need to trust a third-party middleman, money can be secure and transactions effortless. And if you've ever used Bitcoins, that's definitely the case. Not for micropayments. Bitcoin isn't currently practical for very small micropayments, not for things like pay per search or pay per view without aggregating mechanisms. Not the thing that needing to pay less than 0.01. The dust spam limit is the first intention trying to prevent overly small micropayments like that. There'll be other cryptocurrencies that come out that will handle all of that anyway. It sounds like Bitcoin's going to be more so a high dollar, high net worth asset in the future. So, number 11 is probably one of the more important ones. Generate all the addresses you want. When you're generating a new Bitcoin address, it only takes up space on your own computer, like 500 bytes. That's tiny. It's like generating a new PGP, private key, but less CPU intensive because it's an ECC. The address space is effectively unlimited. It doesn't hurt anyone, so generate all you want. And his theory was every time you do a Bitcoin transaction, generate a new address or a wallet address for where you're sending it to so that it's really never all that easy to trace. The more addresses you generate, then technically it gets harder and harder to trace. That's where all these people are getting in trouble these days, is they just move it from one wallet to another, and all the wallets have all of the Bitcoins going into the same address, so technically it's pretty easy to track down if you have any, I guess, sleuthing ability at all. So, central banks. The root problem with conventional currency is that all the trust that's required to make it work. A central bank must be trusted not to debase the currency, but history of fiat currencies is full of breaches of that trust. Banks must be trusted to hold our money and transfer it electronically, but they may lend it out in waves of credit bubbles with barely a fraction of it in reserves. And that's basically what our whole banking system's built upon, is fractional reserve banking. So, 13, zero bugs. I keep a list of all resolved bugs I've seen in the forum. In some cases, I'm still thinking about the best design for the fix. The synth is the kind of software we can leave so many unresolved bugs that we need a tracker for them. And the alternative to credit cards. Bitcoin would be convenient for people who don't have a credit card or don't want to use the cards they have. And I do a big synopsis on this on the website over at easycryptocurrency.com, why Bitcoins is actually way safer for identity theft than any type of conventional financial system we have today. Because currently our current financial system today, all you need is a few key bits of information and you get somebody's complete identity and you can get in and decide where all you want to send everything that's financially important to those people. At least with Bitcoin, if you don't have the private keys, you're not moving any of the Bitcoins around. So, and if you secure your software correctly and you make your wallets correctly, then you don't have any of these problems down the road for having somebody hack into your system and steal your money. So, again, if you need some help on that, head on over to the website and I'll give you a lot of this information for free. 15. Bitcoin buy attack. When somebody tries to buy all the world's supply of a scarce asset, the money they buy, the more they buy, the higher the price goes. At some point, it gets too expensive for them to buy more. It's great for people who own beforehand because they get to sell it at a corner and at a crazy high prices. That's true of a defined monetary supply, unlike the one we live in. Satoshi's language. It's very attractive to a libertarian viewpoint if we can explain it properly. I'm better with code than with words, though. 17. A major battle and even a larger war. We can win a major battle in the arms race and gain a new territory of freedom for several years. And I think that kind of pretty well sums that up. I think he's got a very good perspective on this whole financial monetary system. And if you're just breaking into this and learning about this, I think these are some excellent quotes. I wish I would have known when I first got started in this, but I think that's kind of why I've put together all of this information, is to help people like you break into this and learn some of this a little easier than what it took for me to figure all this out years ago. So hopefully that helps, and we will see you in the next video. Take care of this. Bitcoin Charlie signing off.